guys, let me tell you something. This week, now, the film industry is stalled. We all know this, and it's affecting a lot of people, even us in our business, right? Finding content to bring to you becomes ever more difficult, but we do because we love you and we want to connect with you every single week. So we always going to find something that's going down, right, Ty?
Always.
Always. That means for you this week, we got an exciting episode. We're going to go back. We're going to actually go into some business news. A lot of the conversations that we've been having have been more, what could you say, very pop culture, what's going on right now, what's happening in the country, along that pulse. And we're still going along those lines, but now we get to do something that I like to do, is talk money. Money. I like to talk money, guys. I like to see the business side of things. And for our first story of the day, Tyler, share it with them. Tell them what's going down.
So, AMC Theaters, which questionably still wants to open on July 31st at the end of this month, we'll get into that afterwards, has made a deal with its investors for $300 million to help consolidate its debts and to deal with the closures that have plagued its operations. I think this is them being hopeful. Like, it's good that they were able to get the money, I guess, and make sure that they were able to open doors whenever that is going to be. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to be on July 31st.
No, I definitely agree with you there. And $300 million is a lot of money to consolidate a lot of the debts that they have. After doing some research, learning that they have just about 1,000 theaters within the United States of America. I know on a previous podcast I said around 500 or 500 plus. The actual figure, well, not the actual figure, but the better,
the more accurate number.
The more accurate approximation is going to be around 1,000 theaters nationwide, and I know that they have theaters internationally as well. Now, AMC has already made contentions to deal with the pandemic by deferring rent payments and furloughing staff, including the CEO. So they're taking the steps in order to make sure that the business is able to come back in full swing as soon as the pandemic fight is over. However, the predictions now are stating that the pandemic may not be over until 2021. So very hopeful from the company to think that they're going to be able to reopen their doors on July 31st. I absolutely believe that that's not going to happen, especially the way in which we in March, when at least Los Angeles or or California itself got shut down, we thought that it was going to last like a month and a half. And now we're 3-4 months in. This is only going to get worse before it gets better. And the few places that were able to reopen before the recent LA shutdown were people, the people are not thinking about the new state of being. And we'll get into that a little bit more as we move along. And I believe that that's the reason for the recent shutdown that we're experiencing right now. But AMC, kudos to you. Try and get that money. You know, I like to talk money. And I hope that they are able to get back open soon. I miss moving. I miss going to the movie theater. AMC, not my movie theater of choice. However, I do know that a lot of people decide to go to that place to decompress and watch good films. Now, we move on to the other side of the pandemic and where people are actually winning, and that goes to our streaming services, namely Hulu in this conversation. So, Palm Springs, great film, set a record opening weekend for Hulu. The film was acquired at Sundance for $17.5 million off a $5 million budget. Tyler, do you see this as a win for who's winning in this situation? Who's winning in this situation?
Well, first off, I would say this past weekend was one of the bigger movie release weekends since we've been kind of in this state with Palm Springs, which that 17.5 million purchase amount is the largest in Sundance history. So we had that come out. We had the Old Guard for Netflix, which
Mm-hmm.
was a big budget comic book adaptation, which was also excellent, I might throw in.
Mm-hmm.
And then a movie that we're ultimately going to get to is Greyhound, which was a big budget World War II action film starring Tom Hanks. So you had a lot of these big movies coming out this weekend. And for my personal thoughts on their varying degrees of success, this was almost what you would call a summer weekend. It's just we were home instead of in the
Mm-hmm.
theaters.
Yep. And Tyler, I'm assuming that you've seen all three, right?
Yes, I have.
I
I
always
would
got
I
to
would
throw that
put
out there.
Palm Springs and Old Guard pretty high. Greyhound is fine.
Greyhound was fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I was expecting a little bit more from Greyhound.
I all it really had going for it was Tom Hanks, in my opinion.
Hey, it was worth it to at least Apple TV Plus, seeing that they spent $70 million off a $50 million budget to acquire that movie for its launch this weekend. So, you know, like this is going to get into our main topic very soon, but congratulations for Palm Springs. Let me just backtrack to that. Old Guard, I got to go watch that one. But congratulations to Palm Springs for setting that record in terms of being the highest Sundance purchase ever. You said highest purchase Sundance has ever acquired. So that's a really that I mean, in all the things that have been going wrong for the film industry, at least there's some positives that are popping out, and this seems to be one of them.